Hey everybody, my name is Old School Nerd. Welcome. It is May the 9th, 2024. Tomorrow, the new album, that one, Phantoma, comes out, presented by Napalm Records. It's Unleash the Archer's new one. I have a double treat for you today. This video, I sit down, have the opportunity to speak to the amazing Brittney, the lead singer of Unleash the Archers. We talk about the themes, her thought process, and what this album means for the band and for all of us. And I'm super excited to present this to you. Please, after you watch this video, do me a favor. Hold on. I got another video, brand new Unleash the Archers today. My name is Old School Nerd. Let's have a chat with Brittney Slayes. Hey everybody, it's Old School Nerd, and I have the honor and privilege to once again have a wonderful conversation with the amazing Brittney Slayes of Unleash the Archers. How you doing?
Doing well, thanks. How are you?
I'm outstanding.
Oh, that's great.
How's everything up there? Are you guys on a
It's
little
good.
break in the middle of the tour, or?
No, we're just getting started. Our first show is this weekend. So it's like we're just ramping up for the madness.
I saw the
That's to
schedule.
come. Yeah.
Y'all are going to the land down under, right?
Yeah, in
That's
June.
that's
Yeah.
so exciting. And then when you
Yes.
guys come back, y'all are touring all over America, North America, and get your tickets now. Don't wait because they're gonna sell out. All right, it's wonderful again to talk to you. And this album, we, all of us who love your music, love what all of you guys do. We hoped that the new album would be something fantastical. I don't think any of us expected this.
Oh, really? Is that a good thing or a bad
Oh,
thing?
look, okay, all the classic medieval tropes, faster than light, awakening. There's so many different ways you normally go, and with a name like Unleash the Archers, everyone thinks of the classic medieval type tropes that was in the past. You guys went straight up to the future this time with Phantoma. I read a little bit about this, but I want you to tell us about Phantoma because I know it's a special character. It's a special concept you came up with. Really, when most of us, other than us IT nerds, really weren't paying attention to AI. Tell us about Phantoma and how this came about.
Sure. Well, we actually wrote the record like in 2021, the story for the record. So it was a dark time, as we all know, early 2021. We were supposed to be touring, and it had once again been pushed, all of our tours. So we were just kind of like, what the heck do we do? And so we just were just like, let's write the next record. And I had this idea for Phantoma, and that was really kind of what I had. I had the character of Phantoma. I knew that I wanted the record to be called Phantoma, and I sent sort of just a brief synopsis to the boys. And I was like, so she is sentient AI. She's like trapped in a computer. She loves humankind. She's modeled herself after them. It's so much so to the point where she's more human than the humans are now. And the planet has been destroyed by climate change, and the air is no longer breathable, and all of humanity lives in these beautiful biomes. And she kind of is just a part of all the cogs and wheels that make the world go around. And she just wants something more for herself. She's typical Disney, I want to be part of your world.
But not Disney.
But a little bit of Disney in there. No. And then yeah, so and the boys were like, yeah, no, that's great. That sounds good. Let's do it. And so I went about writing the track by track overview that I send to them so that they can start writing the riffs. And that's where I just sort of tell the story chapter by chapter. And I say, this is what's happening in the story at this moment. This is how I want the song to sound and kind of the emotional tone, and this is how I want the listener to feel, and this is what I want it to sound like this one needs to be fast, heavy. I think I said the word industrial on the overview a few times. And of course, at the bottom I was like, I just want a super modern sound, a modern vibe. Let's look to modern influences for this album, and let's try and do stuff that we haven't done before. And so the boys came back with all the riffs and everything, and yeah, it's about AI in the old school cool science fiction sense of like Data from Star Trek and like one of my favorite android depictions is Bishop from Aliens and just how uh,
Put your hand out.
and
Put your hand up.
yeah, exactly. So good. And then how he's just, Ripley's so suspicious of him and hates, synthetic beings, and we know why because of Alien. And then he just turns out to be this total hero, and he's better than everyone else. And yeah, that's one of my favorites. And I love, Blade Runner, of course, the old one and the new one, and Star Wars. You got that R2D2 C3PO vibe. You'll see my take on those two in the yearbook, because Phantoma kind of gathers this crew around her as she realizes that, yeah. And I don't want to give too much away.
No, it's
Um,
okay because everything you're saying gives context to things that when we see in the videos, we're like, what does this mean? And it started off in my reactions. I don't know if you saw any of them, but I just went off on this nerd tangent. I started throwing things like all of a sudden I'm like, you feel so bad for her because like she's rejected and it feels like the world's against her. And you feel
mhm.
so bad for her until, uh-oh, she's mad. And not only is
Yeah,
she mad, she got a crew. And that
yeah,
crew looks like Voltron, all of them. It's super big. But as I'm watching it, the animation and the way it was drawn, I immediately got drawn into that visual storybook that Rush did for 2112 where the
oh, okay,
priests
cool.
in the temple of Syrinx are looking at the common folk and they're mocking them and they're making
Yeah,
fun of them. And when I see all of you in that council chamber
yeah.
and they're all
Mhm.
and Andrew does that haha that laugh thing, I went, oh my god, it's a modern rendition of that classic storytelling that Rush did, and I was just like, I'm getting lost into it, and the modern music. I can hear the things that stuff like Amherst would do, or
Mhm.
that modern metal that you see a lot of, where that industrial sound in Europe is starting to take over again, which I
Yeah,
loved. And it went from that in the first video. I'm thinking we're going on a Coheed and Cambria like sci-fi story. I'm
yeah,
super
yeah.
excited for it. And then when you shift to Ghost in the Mist, I'm like, it's the most beautiful storytelling, empowering power metal. I just when I first heard Ghost in the Mist, I'm thinking I want to go out and conquer whatever I'm most scared of right now because
Yeah,
y'all the
nice.
music makes you believe. It makes you feel like you can do things.
Yes,
Was that
so
part of
classic.
the thought process when you went into it? Was inspiring
Absolutely.
people?
Yes, for sure, 100%. Um, it was 2021 and everyone was separated from everyone else. We were all, holed up in our homes and we were living our entire lives on social media and, Twitch and stuff like that. And so it was, that was kind of a huge theme underneath the record, which was what people are putting out into the world of themselves. A lot of times it was not authentic. It wasn't them, and it was just kind of like a lot of posturing and um, false fronts, that kind of thing. It's just like, oh, look at me, I'm so cool, and yeah, well, everyone else is stuck in their condo. I'm on a yacht in Europe or whatever, what I mean? And it's just kind of like, shut up. No, no one believes you, but people do, and they feel terrible about themselves. And it's like the pandemic was the destruction of the self-worth of our youth. They were
Oh,
growing up in this time when you just like, oh, so many young kids were like, oh, I want to be an influencer or I want to be a TikTok star, and it's kind of like, really? Because I'm pretty sure that if you want to be an influencer, you have to spend like 90% of your time like this on your phone, figuring out the filters and making sure that you say the perfect word and blah, you know what I mean? And it's just like, I don't know if you actually realize what a hard life that is. And sure, there's this one moment where they're in like, the most expensive outfit in the nicest car ever, but it's like they rented that shit. You know what I
is it
mean?
real? It's not real. I mean,
Exactly.
this room is because of the pandemic. My 15-year
Right?
old daughter was one of those kids that was really damaged by TikTok ticks, and
Yes.
she actually developed the disease. And this was an outlet to keep me from being dad going insane. So during the pandemic, I'm stuck in this room, and this started.
Yeah.
Being an influencer is not real. I'm still a dad. I still have my full-time
Right.
IT job. But during that pandemic, I was able to stop for just a minute and discover what music is now.
Yeah.
And we kind of did that, and I'd never change it for the world. But Brittany's right, everybody. This is just when I press record.
Yeah.
Okay, but everything you see is still me. I try to be as real as I can because it's just I'm just this guy with a beard that's old.
No, yeah. No, but that's I'm not saying that everyone is like this. It's just that
No,
there I found that that was one of the great things about the pandemic actually is that a lot of like just regular people were like, okay, I'm gonna start a reaction channel, you know, or whatever. I'm gonna do stuff. I'm gonna get out there. And then that changed the tide. And like what's popular now is for a lot of influencers to kind of show what's real behind things and be like, oh yeah, so this is, you know, I just totally filmed this video in my perfect living room, and then it's like flip, and it's like this is what it actually looks like, and it's just like children's shit everywhere, and like an absolute mess. And it's like, so please don't feel bad if your house is a mess, and because it doesn't look like mine, you know, when I show you how to be a Montessori mom or whatever. And it's just like, yes,
nice.
it's time to be real.
Yeah,
And that was what was important to me with this album is that Phantoma models herself after this ideal humankind
doesn't
that doesn't
exist.
actually exist. And so when she gets out there in the world, she's like, oh shit, humans are mean and they don't accept me for me. And then she meets her own kind in the collective, and they're also like, what, you love humans? They're like enslaving us, get out of here, you know, and here I'm going to destroy your friend while I'm at it, kind of a thing. And it's like, oh crap, my own kind doesn't love me and humankind doesn't love me, what do I do? And then that's the moment where she's like, I have to love me because no one else does and no one else will. And that's really what the message at the end of the day is that who cares what everyone else is doing on social media? Who cares what everyone else's expectations are of you? It doesn't matter where you think you're supposed to be. Where you're at right now is just fine. And that's where you're supposed to be because that's where you are. And stop feeling the pressure to be something that you're not. And if you truly love yourself, then everything else just goes away. And it's like that's the moment when Phantoma is like in Give It Up or Give It All. She's just kind of like, I have nothing. What do I do here? And that's when she's like, heck yeah, I'm just going to be myself, and I'm going to make this world what I want it to be. And so I just wrote this album in hoping that people would hear that and say, hell yeah, I can do it too, whatever it is that I need to do right now. And screw you, mom, if you think that being insert, you know, whatever
Whatever.
here
Yeah.
is not a real job. I don't care. You know what I mean? It's me, it's what makes me happy, and that's what's important. And yeah, just kind of hope that people get the message. I don't
I'm
know.
not kidding. I know we're supposed to be talking about your album and the tour and all this music, but I just literally almost wanted to clip everything you just said and mass email to every kid out there who is feeling just disenfranchised or
Mhm.
minimalized or marginalized after everything we've gone through.
Mhm.
Your words hit me as a parent first, a music lover second, and then I'm just like, I wish I had somebody telling me this a couple of years back. Um,
Mhm.
real quick, and this is really interesting to me is one thing that came out of this pandemic was there are no more rock stars. Have you noticed that?
Yeah,
Rock star,
absolutely.
that whole rock star motif, it doesn't exist. It felt like everybody was suddenly equalized, and they had to just reveal that they're not superhuman, they're not
Mhm.
perfect. And my favorite part about your group, your community, is that your band has always been like, "Yep, we don't have to do anything different. We are just
Yeah.
we are as just quote unquote normal as you get as far as people." Excuse me, and it showed that genuine feel. It always seems that every time you guys make a video,
Mhm.
if there's a subject and a point to get across, it's very focused. When you guys have a video about yourselves, it's not self-deprecating, but there is no illusions as to the fact that yes, those are pink Crocs on Nick's feet.
Yes.
Yeah. Andrew does wear only flannel. Yes, but don't let Grant wear hats because his hat collection is ridiculous. Which brings me back to the band. What an amazing group of wonderful geeky nerds that are just inspire so much of us. Some of the elements of this album, of course, Andrew, during the writing of the album, he's on Twitch almost all the time. And he's like, I'm just working on new music. And we had no idea that this thing he was playing winds up being that hook of, Ghosts in the Mist. We're geeking out every couple days. He's online. We're geeking out. And of course, you have Grant doing all of his amazing work with young people. Nick, he's playing, and you and Scott have stuff going on. It's been an amazing few years, and I think that even though I know you catch a lot of comments. We know about the comments, right? When is the new UTA? When's new Archers? And that's all we heard for 2 years. And I got to be honest with you, I'm not gonna lie. Even I asked, please. I was kind of begging a little bit, But now that it's come through. And we're looking at May 10th, and we've gotten 3 little nibbles so far as of the filming of this. Are we even ready? Brittney, are we even ready for the rest of this thing on May 10th? And is there anything you want to share with us without giving anything away? Is there anything in particular that you really think we should kind of hope or look for?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to give too much away, but it's definitely one of those albums where if you can, try and sit down and listen to it, on the day of, without any distraction, from beginning to end, because a lot of people that I've done interviews with so far that have gotten the album in the beginning, beforehand, have said, wow, you can really feel like the emotional arc of this album. Like you feel it, like it's in the music, it's like embedded into it. It's not just the lyrics. The music tells the story so well this time around. And it's not that it didn't on the other albums, but we worked really hard, and there was a lot of moving around of riffs and stuff like that, and a lot of rewriting and kind of like plucking things from here and there and putting them in exactly the right spot, building the puzzle as we went, because it was super important to us that the story was told correctly, from a musical standpoint. So if you can, I just recommend that you do that. And depending on where you are at in your life, I hope you have moments where you're just like, yeah, and then moments where you're like,
already been there a couple times so far with this. For me, I'm a musician, and when you say take the time to sit down and listen to the whole thing musically, unfortunately, don't tell anybody, but I listen to lyrics after I first listen to a song. So whenever I first listen to a song or do a reaction, I'll listen to Andrew and Grant's building of a narrative, and then I'm listening to Scott and Nick build the foundations. And sometimes when the flow, the arc of the music, sometimes it's not just about lyrics. Do they work together in a composition to build a proper arrangement to tell not only a lyrical story, but a musical one? And that's one of my favorite things about Unleash the Archers is every song, even if it's something like Faster Than Light, which musically, if you're not paying attention, is just go the whole way, or something like Awakening, or, Ghosts in the Mist, where this build up and then there's this crescendo, and then at the end of it, you're like, no, you go and do that. It's and then normally for me, when I go back and I listen to it the second time and I am focusing completely on the lyrics, then this revelation of deeper meaning happens, and now I'm like, the circle is now complete. I start having my Darth Vader moments, and Obi-Wan and Vader, it's together, and then it makes sense. I'm not saying that Andrew and Grant are Darth Vader, but we're not going to go.
Two sides warring within him. Yes, yeah.
But I when I read the information about the album that's coming out, and it talked about um, Phantoma and her origins, and her classification, and that little bit of the story to kind of tease us about what's coming.
Hmm.
I thought about how they said that in the information given is that the entire album plays together in a epic storyline of this theme. It's not just one song is about this, and this is the only time we're going to talk about this. The themes work together in a storyboard that if you love individual songs, awesome. If there's a playlist song that you want to jam to every morning on your way out to work because it makes you want to face the world, great. But to sit down and listen to the whole thing is so important because it may give you an understanding and a greater appreciation of the song that you love.
Hmm.
I'm
For
looking
sure.
forward to it. I'm pumped.
Yeah, I'm glad. No, we're super excited for everyone to hear it as well. And it's going to be interesting to hear what people think because we did try some new stuff on this album, and um, some people you might listen to the first song and be like, okay, what's going on here? And then we'll kind of be like, don't worry about it, we're coming back at you. So it's really, I would love to hear like what you think actually after the first pass, if you feel like without the lyrics, if it did sonically tell the story, because we worked really hard on that. It's literally like, okay, here's what's going on in the world, and then boom, here's your protagonist, and then, this is her, kind of getting, making her way out, and then like here's obstacle number one, obstacle number two, obstacle number three.
Plot
Here's the
twist.
Yeah, exactly, and then boom, a return in amazing fashion with your crew behind you, and then this kind of personal revelation and growth, and just a dynamic moment of catharsis, and I just really hope that you will be able to hear all that, because it was like, just we really drilled down on this one to try and make every riff important and memorable, and sort of embodiment of the moment that's happening. So
I'm
hope.
blessed and cursed. I'm blessed and cursed because I'm blessed because a lot of the community members in my community are from Portland and Seattle and Vancouver, and they are diehard UTA. Just they love but the problem is I'm also cursed because I cannot listen to too much of them when the album comes out. Like they'll spam everything that they've figured out or ahead of time,
Mhm.
and I'm like, oh, you're gonna ruin it. So I have to kind of block them out for a day,
Right.
and then
Yeah.
we're gonna have like a Twitch stream where we all get together and just everyone just goes ah, and just blah, and just all about it, because that's almost what you're gonna have to do. So everyone. Yes, we want you to be influenced by the people that you love, especially all your fellow nerds out there that love this stuff. But please take a moment to do what Brittney says. Enjoy this yourself in your heart, and block it out for a second so you can really see where it is here. And then go ham with it. Please share it with everyone. But yeah, take
Give
the
me all
moment.
the theories, all the theories. Which one's the
Oh,
immortal? Which one? I'm just kidding.
we're super excited that y'all are back on the road. Y'all did a few tours. You did the Mad with Power last year, right?
Hmm. Yep.
Where a lot of the Ghosts in the Mist was filmed.
Yep.
And
Yep.
two of my community members, two of my really close friends that we play D&D every Thursday, were at the very beginning of that video, and I had to hear about it because they were in the line going in. They're like, "We're in the video," and I'm like, "Dude, you were at the beginning in the line. I'm trying to figure out why Nick is wearing pink Crocs right now. Can we talk about it later?" So it's one of my favorite things that it's music, it's friends, it's people that just it's just this common spirit that I really believe that even though so much bad came out of COVID, came with it, coming out of it, I think if you ignore everything you see out there, there's a lot
Hmm.
of ugly out there right now. It really
Yep.
is, all over the place.
Yep.
But
Oh
I'm
yeah.
finding that the catalyst that was formed during COVID and people finding that common interest and finding those little groups with things like, oh, Unleash the Archer fans. Oh, we can play D&D online. Oh, we can do all these things that we forgot about.
Yep.
And the friendships we formed now maybe help keep us sane in the future and keep us from maybe having that dystopian future that you're talking about.
Yes, I hope so.
So we just need you to be our Phantoma. Scott can come too. Bring the fam, not just you. So we appreciate, and I know you're looking forward to touring, and our time is up. Unfortunately, it's always a pleasure to speak to you. Tell the guys I said hi. Love those guys. They're so amazing and genuine. And
thank you.
It really, and it's one of those times where when I do get to talk to you guys, and I get to talk to Grant and Andrew, like away from this thing, because we're just nerds talking and being goofy on Twitch, but to see that you guys are just so real, not only with yourselves, but there's never a person that's like a stranger to you guys. If there's a love of the music, you're in, you're family. Just don't embarrass us. And you're fine. Well, you know, it's people. It's people. Everyone, this is the incomparable Brittney Slayes, along with her brothers and husband in Unleash the Archers. We thank you so much, and hey, thank you for your time. Hey, everybody, May 10th.
Thanks for having me.
The world changes May 10th, and with
just a little. I don't know.
Well, for us, I'm losing it. I may have to take a week off. I don't know if that's bad or good. People will be like, thank you, Brittney. You got rid of him for a week. So there you go.
I love it.
Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.
Thanks. You too.
Thanks for watching, everybody. And if you enjoyed this video, give us a like. It really helps the channel grow. Also, if you want to subscribe, right over there. A big thank you to all my Patreons out there for everything you do. And if you want more content like this, check them out above. Remember, love one another, take care of each other. We're all stuck on this mud ball together. We'll see you later.